Hi everyone, my name is Ben Andrews. I've been asked to deliver a talk today on the history of masks and how they fit with current times. So the talk's called The Mask Before COVID. Before we get started, I need to apologise for any noises you hear in the background. I am not set up to deliver these types of talks from home at all, and there's a reason for that. I never do it. I've been a corporate speaker for more than 10 years, and I've never delivered a virtual talk. I'm only doing it because I like Becky. Otherwise, this wouldn't be happening. So please forgive the dogs in the background, any other strange noises you hear. Believe it or not, I recorded a version of this earlier on today and a pigeon flew into the window. Don't know what that was trying to tell me. So, just a brief background on why I might be suited to deliver this talk. First of all, I've had the privilege of working with over 500 people, coaching them back to work after long-term absence, usually due to mental health. Everything from directors of Fortune 500 companies right the way through to people just starting off on their career path. So I've learned a thing or two along the way. And certainly in the past decade, I've seen the rise of anxiety when it comes to our interactions with machines, in particular social media and the computer. I was a dad at 14 as well. My daughter is now 23. And that's taught me a thing or two, particularly in the differences of the way we interact with machines and we interact with computers. I'm an ethical hacker. I'm kind of top 50 in Hack the Box. And I'm just finishing my master's in cybersecurity. I've been a director since I was 22. First of all, for prison service, then for probation service, and then on my own, for my own companies. I developed IT solutions from conception, development to sell, and designed them myself and developed them myself. I've had salons, I've had preschools. I've always been in the field of occupational health and safety when it comes to employed roles, and later on cybersecurity. And so I guess I'm quite a good place to be able to match the two, I guess the physical health, the mental health, and our cyber health. And I'm passionate about helping people protect themselves online. When I say the word mask, what do you see in your mind's eye? Right now, you'll likely see some PPE because of the COVID era, right? You might get a little flash vision back to an old Jim Carrey movie where he puts that mask on and he gets superpowers. Either way, you probably do not see all the masks that came before COVID. Masks of a wonderful history, a history full of intrigue. Superpowers and menace. But in the main, masks have had a single thing in common. They've always been used to hide the identity of the person who's wearing them. Today you can see my face. It may not be a pleasing face, but you can see it nonetheless. And with that, you can automatically make a connection with me. You can assess my intention. You can visualize if I'm a threat, where I fit in your pack. So straight away, your anxiety is reduced. You can look into my eyes when I say something without a change in tone, and you're able to understand if it's a jest with malice or simply just a statement, just by my facial expression. Now, if we take that away, if this was a blank screen and just a voice, and I talked in a monotone with no feeling, no emotion, no expression, how would it feel? It would feel different, right? This time, when I say the word mask, try to think a mask through history. Consider an executioner's noose. Why on earth did an executioner need a mask? Inevitably, they had the favour of their leader. Justice had been served, and people watching such an execution agreed and said justice. And where there was justice, and they were there to watch the justice being delivered. So why hide your face? It makes no sense. Why not be proud that you are the person to deliver that justice? Think to the KKK, the Christian Crusaders. Why did these groups wear masks? Why, when they were acting in the name of the gods they believed in, they absolutely fundamentally believed in their cause, enough to kill, did they find it necessary to wear a mask? Why not be proud to show your face? Surely they were so proud that they would have shown their face. They would have wanted to show their face. Masks have been used throughout times to hide behind. And when you're behind a mask, you feel empowered. You do things that you would never dream of doing without a mask. This is why the Incas believed masks gave you powers, because you are free to act without consequence. Through anonymity, you gain freedom. By covering your face, you're able to detach yourself from your actions. As we hear so often now, no face, no case. And this happened to me recently. 2 years ago, I was on my motorbike, doing 70, in a 70 zone. And someone mistook me for the previous owner of that motorbike. They purposely, intentionally hit me off the motorbike. And it was a hit and run. Now, a person was arrested with a Benz-sized dent in the door, fingerprints all over the cars. But because it was a pool car and they had no CCTV of the driver, of the person they arrested, they had to drop the case. No face, no case. That age-old saying, if you hear, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, did it make a sound? Well, that kind of applies to today's society and the internet. If somebody writes something and nobody's there to see them write it, and nobody knows where it came from, did it get written by that person? We don't know. Was it that person's true feelings? We don't know. Because we've got no way of identifying. In our world, we wear a mask every single day. Every day we sit behind a computer screen, our masks go on. When I pen test, I'm wearing a mask. No one knows who's doing it. Only the person that's given me the job. No one else. Every time we write a post, we make an online comment, we tweet, we email, we do it wearing a mask. A mask, the same mask that gave the Incas those superpowers, that removed the responsibility from the KKK, that gave anonymity to the executioner. And because we wear that mask, we do things that we would never dream of doing if the organization or the person we are directing our actions towards could see our face. Moving identity on the internet is a hot topic right now. Cryptocurrency has done more for criminals than it has for me or you. Unless you were one of the few who was smart enough to not throw out your hard drive full of crypto, full of Bitcoin in the early 2000s. Criminals love to be able to hide. They love the fact that they now have a currency that allows them to keep their masks on. Trolls love a mask. What better platform than the internet? A username that has no meaning, that gives me the ability to hide my identity, to allow me to be cruel and evil and take no self-responsibility, to allow me to say things that I would neither have the courage or the ability to say if I could see my face. Say it to my face. How often have you heard that saying? How often growing up did you tell your friends something and somebody had said, and they said to you, say it to my face? A mask comes in many forms. It is purely a physical barrier between you and the person or the organizations you are directing your actions towards. It can be a name, a title. I'm a Nazi. I had no choice. That's a mask. I had to do it because I'm a soldier. That's a mask. We can use anything that separates our personal morals from our actions as a mask. And the internet is the most used mask of all time. I truly believe that the WW@ mask has been the most harmful protector in mankind, in the history of mankind. The need to be accepted has been combined with the ability to be anonymous. I'm 38, and when I look back at when I was at school, well, when I should have been at school, I cannot ever remember thinking, wow, I should show everybody what I'm eating. Or being hot and thinking, you know what? All my friends would definitely like to know that I'm hot right now. I better ring every single one of them. Or better yet, walk around school and tell everyone. The internet is a paradox. It's a tool that can be used to make you more recognizable, but at the same time, it allows you to hide away. Why on earth are we desperate for followers? And on the same note, out of those 500 people I've helped who all suffer from anxiety and depression, or believe they suffer from anxiety and depression, the key trigger was the unknown, the lack of choice. The internet does that. The internet is that. It's a lack of choice and it's an unknown. We give control to companies. We choose to do that. We give control to Facebook. We give control to Twitter. We give control to LinkedIn. We give control to all these companies. Instagram. By giving control, we remove our choice. By becoming anonymous, things are scary. Think back to all the horror stories you ever heard growing up. You never knew their face. It was always a beast or a ghost or a stranger. It was never an identifiable thing or person because that would remove the fear. When I can identify something, it can be scary, but not fearful. By removing that, I'm fearful. And that's what the internet's done. And that's why those comments hurt so much. Because we're fearful of the unknown. We don't know where they've come from. We don't know who said those things. On the internet, we often plead for followers. We want people to listen to everything we say. Please look at me. Please see how wonderful my life is, even if it's not. But equally, if I'm doing something I don't want you to know about, please don't post my real name. Please don't let anybody know it was me. You have no right to identify me. We hear this all the time. You have no right to tell people who I am. And yet, we give the internet the right to tell people who we are. I want to be seen, but equally, I don't want to be seen. I want everybody to know everything about me, what I eat, what I like, what I don't like. But equally, I don't want everyone to know the truth about me. In this state, everything becomes threatening. Do I need my mask or not? Do I need to know who this person is or not? Every comment is a threat because it's from the unknown. Would cybercrime, trolls, online bullying exist if you could not wear a WW@ mask? Well, bullying exists face to face, so yes, it probably would. But would it be as severe? Would I continue to get away with it? So many behavioral changes occur when people look people in their eyes. I didn't realize the damage I was doing until I met the person. Working in the prisons, I used to hear that all the time. They had no idea the damage they did until they met the victim and looked at them in the eyes. Now, equally, a letter can be powerful. But nothing was as powerful as someone looking someone else in the eyes and hearing it from them and seeing their pain. I needed that person to look me in the eyes so I could understand. These are the links we are missing and that will continue to be degraded with the growth of the cyber world. The online mask is the most fundamental change to human society in the history of mankind. No filters, no accountability, and everybody has a platform. The ability to say whatever you like with no comeback. No face, no case. Imagine that prior to the internet. Just sit and think for a second. Imagine Hitler having a platform to spread whatever propaganda he chose with no face. No one for the soldiers to understand their goal. Understand, come together, have a common enemy. Without that face, it's difficult. And equally, the good that's done in the world. Without Martin Luther King's face, it's difficult to rally. And so there is no wrong or right answer. This is just about thinking. Thinking, are we wearing a mask? Are our actions because we've got a mask on? Or would we do this and say this if someone could see my face? This talk is not to say the internet is wrong or right, or cryptocurrency is wrong or cryptocurrency is right. We're past that. It exists. This is about identifying what we're doing to each other because we're wearing masks. How we're behaving because we're wearing masks. Some people need a mask. You'll hear about whistleblowers in this event. They need to hide their identity sometimes, as you'll hear in the stories that you hear. But that's a failure of society. If we need to wear a mask, we need to question society. We should be able to show our faces, to talk, to speak. And I'm sure the majority of you would be proud of what you say online. Or not even proud, but you would stand by what you say online and not be scared to show your face. But the people that are vicious, the people that need their masks to say the things they say, because they know the things they're saying, they would never say face to face. They're the masks we need to remove. The same way we need to remove the physical masks from the criminals that go around terrorizing people. We need faces to be identifiable. And our online face should not be disguised and hidden. It should be identifiable. Or should it? I don't know. Anyway, my name's Ben Andrews. Been a pleasure spending some time with you, even if it is virtually. Right now, I'd usually take loads of questions and we'd get in a discussion, and that would be the best bit about this. But unfortunately, right now, everyone's sat with masks on. So if you do have questions, I'm sure there'll be a link to my virtual room or however it works. Anyway, take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.